While the global system, built upon the rules and institutions established by the victors of the Second World War, is crumbling economically, politically, and in terms of security, what will replace it remains uncertain. Humanity is searching for a way out and a path to salvation. However, we cannot yet say that this path is on the horizon. Humanity's yearning for peace, stability, security, and a degree of tranquility is unfortunately being undermined by those who feed on blood and chaos. The latest example of this is the unlawful war that began on February 28th and has brought our region to the brink of disaster. Who wanted the war, who instigated it, and who profited from it have all become clear over time. The accuracy of our assessment of the Zionist lobby's role on the first day of the war has been understood over time. As you know, on the 40th day of the conflict, a 15-day ceasefire was declared thanks to the commendable efforts of our Pakistani brothers. Thus, after weeks of constant anxiety, the people of the region, along with all of humanity, breathed a sigh of relief for the first time in 40 days. We also expressed our satisfaction with the temporary ceasefire. However, the Israeli government's continued attacks on Lebanon dealt the first blow to hopes for peace. Unfortunately, the expected news did not come from the talks held in Pakistan over the weekend. The statements from both sides indicate that even if the table hasn't been overturned, the negotiation process, particularly on the nuclear issue, has reached a stumbling block. We are seeing renewed tension in the Strait of Hormuz. We are making the necessary efforts and suggestions to reduce tension, extend the ceasefire, and continue the talks. As I've said before, negotiations cannot happen with clenched fists. We must not allow weapons to speak again instead of words. The window of opportunity opened by the ceasefire must be seized to the fullest extent. The Israeli government, which is known to be quite unhappy with the ceasefire, should not be allowed to sabotage the process. My brothers and sisters, everyone must understand one thing now. If there is to be peace in our region, it will be despite the Zionist regime. If stability is to be achieved in our region, it will be despite the Israeli government, which acts according to the promised land logic. If peace is to come to our blood-soaked geography, it will likewise be despite Israel, which ties its security to the insecurity of others. Because Israel will try every means to sabotage any glimmer of hope for peace, as it has done countless times before. As humanity strives to extinguish the fire in our region, the network of murderers will only add fuel to the flames. Of course, in doing so, they will continue to brazenly target countries that raise their voices for peace, primarily Turkey and Spain. With their hired pens, their media, and the puppets they use as tools, they will try to silence those with a conscience. But no matter what they do, they will not be able to silence courageous hearts, nor will they be able to shackle the hearts that defend right and truth. From here, under the roof of our esteemed Parliament, I wholeheartedly congratulate my dear friend, Prime Minister Sanchez of Spain, for his firm stance against the threats of the Gaza butcher Netanyahu. I also congratulate the friendly Spanish people on behalf of my country and nation. Let everyone know that we will not surrender to the hateful rhetoric, the language of hostility, the language of tension and conflict stirred up by the genocide network. With dignity, honor, and the nobility and courage we inherited from our history, we will continue to speak the truth even in the most difficult times. We will continue to call the oppressor an oppressor, the bandit a bandit, and the murderer a murderer. My brothers and sisters, we will continue to be the voice of the innocent children of Gaza. We will continue to listen to the cries of Palestinian mothers whose hearts are burning with the pain of losing their children. We will continue to defend the rights of our brothers and sisters whose lands have been occupied in the West Bank. We will continue to pursue the case of the children murdered in their beds in Lebanon. We will continue to confront those who try to conceal the truth through threats and coercion. Unlike those who owe their presence in our region to a favor granted 100 years ago, we will continue to act with a sense of responsibility, guided by our 1,000-year experience in these lands. I am reminding those who insult me and our country on social media, the baby killers, of some facts. The Republic of Turkey is not an ordinary state. No power can wag its finger at Turkey or the President of the Republic of Turkey. Let no one interpret our gentle nature and common sense as being docile sheep. Let no one harbor such a misconception. We consider it the greatest honor to lie honorably beneath the earth when necessary, rather than to live dishonored above it. As Tayyip, Erdogan, and all my comrades, we are all children of a heroic nation whose national anthem begins with the cry, "Do not fear." We are members of a political movement with 11.5 million members who have inscribed these magnificent principles in their hearts. I have lived free from the beginning, and I will live free. I wonder which madman would dare put chains on me. I am like a roaring ember. I will break through any barrier. I will tear down mountains. I cannot be contained by the vastness of the land. I overflow. If the horizon to the west is surrounded by a wall of steel and glaze, I have a border like my chest full of faith. Never mind, don't be afraid. How can such faith be stifled? Civilization, you see, is a one-toothed monster. Yes, those fools who think they can shackle this nation, which even in the face of impossibilities, breaks through dams like a roaring flood, should never forget that we possess the power, strength and determination to tear down mountains when necessary. On this occasion, I would like to thank all the politicians, including our Cumhur alliance partner, the chairman of the Nationalist Movement Party, Mr. Devlet Bahçeli, for reacting against the insolence directed at our country and myself. I am pleased to express that we find this common stance, demonstrated by political parties striving to serve the nation in different arenas, when it comes to Turkey and Turkey's national pride, to be very valuable. My dear brothers and sisters, despite all the difficulties experienced in the negotiation process that has begun between Iran and the United States, we have not lost hope. It is a fact that there are many losers in a senseless war, but many winners in a just peace. We want everyone to look at the process this way. There may be challenges. There may be complex issues that will take time to resolve. But when the benefits of peace are focused on and a long-term perspective is adopted, a significant portion of these problems will be resolved. We believe that common sense and the will to resolve problems through dialogue and diplomacy will ultimately prevail. Indeed, we wholeheartedly desire and hope for this. I want it to be known that, as Turkey, we will work with all our means to ensure the sovereignty of the peace government in every corner of our region. With the principle of peace at home, peace in the region, and peace in the world, we are always ready to be the voice of peace and to prioritize peace efforts. Of course, in this process, we do not forget this reality of our country.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.